What do you have to do? Copy and paste.
Hey, what's up? My name's Samuel Leeds. 1 year ago, I went and moved into a guy's house who was broke. He had £23 in his pocket, and I lived with him for a week and helped him become financially free. It's now 1 year later, and I wondered how he was doing, and I thought maybe you're interested too. So, Evans, welcome to my house. How's it going, my brother?
Thank you so much for having me. I am fantastic. Yes,
Good.
Yes.
So we literally, about a year ago now, I came into your house. I spent a week living with you. Firstly, you know, people might be thinking, how the heck did that come about? How did that come about?
That came through a process called the eviction,
Right.
Which is a very intense process. And the winner of the eviction got to do the Financial Freedom Challenge. You were feeling very generous. You chose 3 people. I was the third. And yeah, I did the Financial Freedom Challenge, and that's why I'm here today.
So you came through the eviction, which is like a TV show, a little bit like The Apprentice,
Yeah.
but way better than The Apprentice for property. You won that, and I moved into your house, spent a week with you. So during that week, for anyone that doesn't know what happened, how the heck did you become financially free from nothing in that week? And then more importantly, I want to talk about what you've done since then and how we've been working together and what's going down. So firstly, tell me what happened in that week.
That week was, I mean, it's crazy just even saying it again, but literally we got started from scratch. I think for me, the most important thing is that we sat down, we had a bit of a freedom formula intensive sort of training,
Right.
as into what do you want the week to look like. So we had a clear plan. So for me, I was just like, it's impossible for us to do anything because I didn't have a plan. But I sat with you, we had a plan. I'm thinking like, okay, that is actually doable. And went through step by step. It wasn't an easy process. We went to securing, rent-to-rent deals, packaging and selling them to get the quick cash flow, getting my dream property, getting a joint venture. It all just structured. It all happened because we had a very good structure.
Right.
Which was,
so we had a good plan. Now, there's a
Yeah.
lot of people after that week happened. You literally in 7 days from scratch. And if anyone wants to see the documentary, they can check it out in the link in the description. But you got a bunch of rent-to-rents. You also moved house. You went from living where?
from living in my girlfriend's single bedroom in a parent's house to living into my nice dream, apartment overseeing London in Canary Wharf.
Right.
Yeah.
You moved into that beautiful, massive apartment overseeing Canary Wharf in London. Your lifestyle changed. You got a new car and everything like that. And a lot of the comments on YouTube were saying things like, rent to rent is risky. How long is it going to be before Evans falls again? And there was a lot of skeptics out there thinking that you had got high, fast results, but you were going to fall off. And I said to you at the time, my brother, number one, I got you, and I'm going to continue working with you. But number two, let's do an interview in a year's time, and we'll see kind of just what's happened and how you've gone. So first question is, did you fall? Did you have a time where you fell off, where you lost a lot of money? Did that happen?
That didn't happen at all. So I think a lot of people actually think, it was risky. But for me, I know it wasn't risky. And the reason why I knew it wasn't risky is because I've seen it before. I've been following your YouTube channel. I've been seeing so many people from all different walks of life, different ages, different races, nationalities, being successful over and over and over again. So I know your system is already proven. And if I can come in, plug in, play full out, just literally follow what you tell me, I can't fail. Because I know the only way I can fail is if I don't apply myself. I know that's one thing I'm very good at doing. So for me, it was no risk. And yes, there's been ups and downs, a lot of challenges, but so my entire life has been a challenge. I mean, just coming to this country has been a challenge. Everything in my life has been a challenge. So
Right.
I'm very used to challenges. So I think for me, the benefit that I had is that I failed so many different times that I was prepared for failure and rebuilding. And you give me the proven step-by-step system, just made my life a lot, made this, a lot easier.
One of the things I say is, if you're going to work hard anyway, you might as well get rich. What do you think about that?
Absolutely, man. Because the thing is, I've always been a hard worker. I've never been shy. I used to work on a cruise ship. I did a contract for 8 months, and we worked literally the day I bought the ship. We went downstairs in the basement. I got my uniform, and I didn't stop working until the day I left the ship. So I was working every day for 8 months. So I'm used to working hard. However, I was only making about $2,000 US a month, and I was working every single day. So I'm used to working hard. And then I think like, wow, I know hard work. You know, it makes. I'm not getting rich, man. My mom said to me, work hard, I'm gonna get rich. I'm like, I'm working every day for 8 months. I'm still not rich.
Yeah.
So I knew hard work is important, but I realized hard work by itself is not gonna get you there.
Another thing is this: we spent a week together, and the title of the video, I think it might have been something along the lines of "Financial Freedom in 7 Days."
Yeah.
And at the end of that week, you had got into a situation where you had rent to rents and you had an income coming in from property that was more than your living expenses. So, you know, in that sense, you were technically financially free. Now, just to be really clear, the real work probably started after the challenge, right?
Yep.
It's not a case of we spend a week together and then everything's systemized, never work again, lie on a beach. What happened was you were set up for financial freedom. And you can argue about the terminology of is it financially free, is it not, whatever. I mean, at the end of the day, look, it's financial freedom is a subjective term. So talk to me about what happened after the week. Was it a lot of work? And we're going to go through the deals that you've done on stuff, because I know you've achieved a heck of a lot since then, and you are honestly so successful. You just completed on a property a couple of days ago, a big BRR deal. You've got loads of properties now that you've bought, that you've been involved in, joint ventures all over the place, and you're making how much do you pay yourself for salary?
So right now I'm making about £12,000 to £15,000 a month.
Right, and your salary you pay yourself a what?
About £10,000 a month.
Okay, so every month you're paying yourself about 10 grand.
Yeah.
You're normally making about 12, 15 grand, which we're going to get onto how you've done that and what other deals you're working on. But talk to me, during that week, it was like a whirlwind, right? We're just doing deals, bang, 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 raising finance, selling deals, putting that money into rents, crazy. What happened after the week finished?
So what happened after the week finished? I mean, you are right. It was a bit of a wake-up call. Not because I relied on you that week. I mean, what happened when you left the week was I was automatically not in the environment.
Right.
So when you're in an environment of positivity, it's very easy to win because everything around you is positive. There's no negativity. But when you left, I'm like, hold on a minute, it's all me and Ellen. So I mean, emotionally, I was a little bit, had to get myself together. So that was a little bit of a challenge. But me being the person that I am, I obviously was not afraid to ask for help. And just connected with people, other success buddies who's doing the same. And just pretty much, you're doing everything right or you're doing this wrong. Just to sort of like just confirm what I've been taught in the training. So that was my main challenge after the week.
It's interesting because the very first financial freedom challenge that I ever did was with a guy called Glenn, as you know. And I went to Blackpool I think it was 2018. I spent a week with Glenn, and Glenn became financially free, same as you did. Obviously not systemized, but he got rent to rents and a lease option and packages, sold some deals, got some money. And then when I left, Glenn got himself into some pickles. He bought a property from auction, which he hadn't even seen, and blew some money that way. He mismanaged some of his properties, and he ended up getting a little bit of a pickle. And me and Glenn did an interview about this, and I had Glenn on my YouTube channel, and we talked about what he did and how he came back out of that. And now, of course, Glenn's doing really well, and we're still friends to this day. But I think it's really interesting how when you are doing the financial freedom challenge, or when you become successful fast, anything that comes about fast, I think is also easy to lose quickly as well.
Yes.
And if it takes you 3 years to achieve financial freedom, chances are you're going to have foundations, lessons. When you achieve financial freedom in a week, it would be easy to very quickly undo it. Yeah. And that's why, what did I make you do with the money that you made from deal selling? What did I make you do with every single penny of that money?
I mean, what you made me do, now I know it's the best thing I've ever done in my life, but at the time I'm thinking that was the craziest thing I would ever do, because you made me put all that money into joining the academy.
Right.
And at the time I'm thinking like, man, I've never made £10,000 ever in a month, let alone a week. And I've got to put majority of it into training. At the time I'm thinking like, I don't really know. However, me doing it that week proved to me that I can do it even when you're not there. So I'm like, yeah, I've got nothing to lose. But as I said earlier, my main challenge was the environment and not being in the positive environment and not getting success buddies to bounce off. So at the time I was a little bit unsure, but now it's the best thing that's literally ever happened. It's even better than that week, because the environment has completely, I've had a complete paradigm shift of the way I think now. and my values. So best thing I ever did.
So the academy is a 12-month program, and you've just finished, I believe, or about to finish your 12 months on the academy. So what have you been doing then, on top of systemizing what you've got? What have you been doing over the last 12 months?
Well, when I first started, my goal was just to, get a bunch of rent-to-rents and be making, 20, 30,000 pounds a month. But what quickly happened when I started making about 10,000 pounds a month, I realized I don't really want to get in a lot more of, a lot more rent-to-rents, a lot more hassle. I just feel like if I can make 10 grand, it's a lot more than enough to cover my expenses and my lifestyle. So I don't really need to. But what I did was, obviously I spoke to you as well, was just change my strategy to start, stop doing the small stuff, but put a lot more effort on building wealth. So by doing joint ventures and BRRs and, pulling other investors in. So most of my effort has been going into that. Also as well, something that's always been fulfilling for me, which obviously is helping people and inspiring people. Thanks to you, you've given me an opportunity to join the team and really help people. And a lot of things happen. I mean, I've seen people, I've helped them got started I can remember from day one, and now they're doing, crazy things in property. So for me, it really gives me a sense of fulfillment, knowing that was a small part of, their success.
So when you say join the team, so you are now, you come to the events, you speak, you give back. I don't pay you to come to the events.
Yep. And the funny thing is, quite a few people has asked me, Evans, do you get paid to be here? And, the crazy thing is, me, it look like I'm getting paid, but, I'm not getting paid. I'm not getting paid financially, but I'm getting paid otherwise in the sense of me being there, helps people by also network with people and, do business with them and joint ventures and stuff like that.
Right,
as well.
So you get paid indirectly, but not directly.
Yes.
Okay, so basically, talk me through this, because this is really interesting. So if you are doing rent-to-rents, and those types of deals, which you consider small deals now. So you've got to a point now, and of course everyone knows rent-to-rents can be a little bit up, they can be a little bit down.
Yeah.
But 10 grand for you is like a bad month, right? So you know that your business is going to make you 10 grand even on a bad month. Instead of scaling that to 20 and 30 and 40 grand, you've now made the decision to start doing big deals. Right, so instead of getting, and this is exactly what happened to me in 2017 when I met Lord Sugar and started doing mentoring with Grant Cardone. Grant Cardone was like, you want to be doing bigger deals. You don't want to have hundreds of little residential houses. And that's when I got into property development. I started building houses. I bought Ribsford House, the castle, and I started doing bigger deals because I realized that a big deal and a small deal are just as much effort.
100%.
So you got to a point whereby you're making more money than you need from property and from your rent-to-rents and your small deals. And now it's like, actually, I don't need more cash flow. I don't need to grow this business. What I need this business to continue paying me and to give me the time freedom to focus on big deals. But the question is, where are you getting the money to do big deals?
And that's the best part of all of this. The money actually comes from people that I'm around and people that sees what I'm doing. Because up until a few months ago, I didn't realize so many people has got money. Yeah. People I always used to think were broke. They actually were not broke. They were broke to me because at the time I was broke, and they thought if they tell me they have money, I'll be like a leech and trying to get the money off them. But now they see I'm somebody of value and I'm doing stuff. I'm getting over investors. I'm selling investors deals. I'm like, hold on a minute. Rather than have 100 grand in the bank just sitting there and getting next to nothing, why don't I give Evans 100 grand and he's gonna give me 10%, on my money every single month? Or why don't I give him 100 grand and we can buy a house together? So all my deals right now, literally every single one, comes from joint ventures. And I mean, I just completed on one, 170 grand, about 40 grand refurb, all cash with an investor's money. So that's for me has been the biggest revelation, that the thing for me before I took me all of these years thinking like, I need to have certain amount of money to get the property. I've realized I don't even need the money now. I just needed the knowledge to see the things I couldn't see. Right.
So basically, you're not using your money for the deals that you do now, you're using other people's money, but you're using your knowledge to get the deals.
Yes.
Interesting. All right, talk me through that deal then. Talk me through that deal.
Yeah.
And I know you've got multiple deals going on the go, and I know that we're working on, we've got a few development deals, which we're doing together, and we're collaborating on, which is amazing. But the one that you've just completed on, give me the numbers. So the purchase price is how much?
It's 170,000.
170, and what is it?
So it's currently a massive 8-bedroom house with loads of, kitchens, massive space, which I'm going to convert to a 10-bedroom all-ensuite HMOs. and also I've just put planning permission through. I've applied for it to change the basement to a 2-bedroom luxury service accommodation.
This is not small stuff.
Yeah.
This is big stuff, bro.
Yeah.
It's crazy. In a year,
Yeah.
you went from, I can't afford a rent to rent.
Yeah.
That was what you told me. When we first
Yeah.
met, you were like, I can't afford the £3,000 to put down on a rent to rent. And now you're putting planning permission in to, that's incredible. So, all right, 170. The refurb you say is going to cost about 40,000.
About 40,000.
So that means all in you're talking about 210.
Yeah.
And then what's the gross development value?
So it's going to be about 280 minimum.
Okay. So you make about 70 grand profit.
Yeah.
From one deal.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
So mindset wise, right, I want to know how, one of the things that I said when I wanted to be a millionaire is, I said, I don't just want to be a millionaire for the £1 million. I want to become a millionaire because of who I'll become in getting the £1 million. How would you say you today are different from you a year or so ago? How have you changed through this massive growth?
Yeah, I mean, and as I said earlier on about being the environment, the reason why I said environment for me, I think, was the most important thing, because I learned a lot of things through coming through the trainings, but I think the biggest things I've learned was indirectly, seeing how you can communicate with somebody, how you can come across, and how you can sell to somebody by not trying to get them, not cornering them that they have to make a decision, trying to give them an option, but at the same time, it's just like a lot of psychological stuff,
right?
A lot of, indirection. But most importantly, my perception of life has completely changed. I mean, before I was trying to just like keep all my money to myself and, think I want to get some more. But now I give a lot. Now we feed, we started off with now we feed 5 children a month in Africa. And at first I was thinking like, mate, charity starts at home. I can't feed anybody. I got to feed myself first. But now it's crazy that the more I give is the more I get. Now my mom gets a lot more money back home. I send to her a lot more, but all of a sudden I'm also getting a lot more. More opportunities come, more joint ventures come.
Right. Because money has to flow through you.
Yeah.
And that's why I always say, don't be a pond, be a reservoir. If you hold on to I see so many people that've got like 5 grand in the bank and they're holding on to it like, oh, I've got 5 grand in there, and they stroke it. Yeah. And it's like, man, you got to let money flow through you.
Yep.
And wealthy people don't hoard their money. Wealthy people invest, they give, and the more that you hold money with open hands and a generous heart and give to charity and invest in yourself and invest in properties and invest in people, the more you invest, the more open-handed you are to receive.
100%.
And you've got to let money flow through you. Talk to me a little bit about sales, because when we met, that was your strongest point. Mm-hmm. You didn't know anything about real estate or investing. You didn't have any money.
Yep.
You had bad credit.
Yep.
You had nothing, no experience, but you were okay at sales.
Yep.
And you used to work Range Rover.
Yep.
And if ever I've got a question about my Range Rover, I'll call you up.
Yep.
Like, how do I work this?
Yep.
You're the man at Range Rovers. Talk about sales. Because you mentioned a minute ago about you don't need to pressure corner people to make a decision. What made you say that? Why do you say that? And why do you bring up sales?
Yeah, because I mean, look, I was born and raised in the Caribbean. In the Caribbean, it's a great holiday place, but opportunities are very slim. But at the end of the day, every family's go eat, everybody's go eat. So it's either you go down the straight and narrow, or either you find a way to make it work. So for me in the Caribbean, because there's so limited opportunities, almost every single day was a hustle. Almost every single day I had to find something, get some fish done, by the sea and sell it. I was a natural entrepreneur. But at the time, I never knew it was entrepreneurial. I was just doing it because I had to survive.
Right.
But meeting you, I actually understand the psychology of actually doing it. And what I understand about sales now I'm very happy to do sales. I sell all the time. And I understand sales is about finding somebody who wants what you have and just finding a very good medium, giving it to them, rather than tell them, look, this is my product, you need it. No, so everybody doesn't need, your product. You need to find somebody who needs it. If you find somebody who needs it, it's a win-win.
Right, because you're probably, although you are a property investor, more than that, you're a property entrepreneur.
Yes.
Right, and an entrepreneur is not someone that just invests all their money. An entrepreneur is someone that hustles in property.
Yeah.
And sales is, I think, one of the most underrated skills and misunderstood skills.
Yes.
People think sales, as you said, is about trying to, like a sleazy salesman or a car, a double glazing man that tries to. But actually, sales, as you said, is about having a great product or service, finding people that need or want your service and making it easy for them to exchange and to do business with you. You are constantly having to sell to joint venture partners. You're having to sell your house, namely your product, to your customer, namely your tenant, to move people in. You're having to sell yourself to builders, why a builder should come and work on your project quickly when they've got other jobs. You have to sell yourself to estate agents, why the estate agent should want to do business with you. And if you can't communicate yourself, and if you can't explain and articulate what value you're bringing to the table, why would anyone do business with you?
Absolutely.
Suddenly, you can't be a property entrepreneur. And I think you were naturally quite good at sales. You're a bit of a hustler. You used to sell fish. That's awesome. But now it's like, right, how can we translate? Because I bet selling a fish is probably just as difficult as selling a property. You might get paid £1. One, you might get paid £10,000.
Exactly.
Or 100 or £70,000.
Exactly.
What do you think about that?
I think that's exactly what it is. I think learning the psychology of it, it just makes it a lot easier. Because I think to a lot of people, and they're like, hey, Evan, how do you do rent to rent? I've spoken to this agent, I've spoken to this landlord, it doesn't really work. And I'm like, what do you say to them? And I find out sometimes what they say actually are right. However, they find a landlord or agent who's not open to it. They're closed, they don't want to do it anyway. And they try to convince them. And that's the difficulty. And a lot of people, they do that 2 or 3 times and they're like, you know what, this thing doesn't really work. However, number one, you go say the right things. But number 2, you have to find people who's open to it. And if they're open and if you're saying the right things, then it's going to be a good fit. So I think it's definitely getting the medium of definitely getting the right things to say, but also finding somebody who's open to it. And if they're open to it, then you can,
But I've seen people on the training programs where they've like said, oh, I just rang this agent and they said no. And you're like, get them on the phone. And they're like, but they just said no. And you're like, get them on the phone. And you'll speak to them and you'll get a deal. And it's like, how? How? And it's not because the agent wouldn't do rent to rents. It's because the agent didn't understand rent to rents, or the agent didn't like the concept of it. And you have to ring them and actually say, hey, and then what would you say in that situation? Because I've heard you do it. It's genius. What do you say? So if someone says, I don't think we really do rent to rents, corporate lets, I'm not interested. What do you say?
I'll have a convo with them.
Go on, let's do it.
So I'll be like,
we don't do corporate lets.
Fantastic, no problem at all. I mean, is there any particular reason? I mean, have you done it before? Do you know much about it? Is there any particular?
Yeah, we did it once and we had a really bad experience. And the guy didn't pay rent, and we just decided that we don't want to do that business model anymore.
Right. So you're saying it's a little bit too risky because you've had bad experience before.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool, fantastic. And is that only because of company lets, or have you ever had the same situation with a family before?
Well, yeah, I guess we've had a situation with a family as well.
Okay, so it's quite 50-50.
Well, maybe.
Cool. So, I mean, do you not want to do business with families as well? Because
we do want to do business with families, just not corporate lets.
All right, cool. But the main reason why is just because you haven't, they didn't pay rent. Cool. Well, I mean, look, in that case, I'm not sure if you know the ins and outs of company lets, but ins and outs of company lets is that we're a company, and if we don't pay you rent, if the worst was to happen, we don't pay you rent, you have the ability to get us out straight away. But if you go a family in there and they don't pay you rent, you have to go through the channels. You have to issue them the eviction notice. That is a long process.
Okay.
With us, if that's your main reservation, it's a lot safer, isn't it? Because if we don't pay you rent next month, we're out. The family, you can't really do that. Yeah, and I'm happy to put in the contract that we can put, a guaranteed rent in there as well, if that gives you a peace of mind. But again,
how would that work then? How would that work? A guaranteed rent straight away? I'm now asking you questions, right? I'm like, well, tell me more. So you go from, oh no, I'm not interested, to tell me more.
Exactly.
And I think as well, one of the things why you're so successful is, it's not just what you say, it's also the confidence. And there might be some agents that say, oh, get out of here, you cheeky git, or whatever. But you do win over a lot of agents. I've seen it. I've seen it firsthand. So, how can you learn that skill?
You can definitely get the knowledge, because if you get the knowledge, you're halfway there. Of course, you have to apply yourself. The knowledge is not just enough. But I've got fire in my belly. I just really want, to win badly. So I've got that natural inclination of just being,
So can you learn it?
I don't think you can learn it. I think you need to have the willing to do so. It's the reality. If you don't think you're going to win, then probably you won't. But if you think you're going to win, but there's a lot of grey areas.
So that's belief now you're talking about?
100%.
Can you learn belief?
I don't think you can.
You didn't believe it's something that either someone has or doesn't have?
100%.
Really?
Because I believe whatever you believe in, you'll do it.
Right.
If you don't believe it, probably...
But what about all the people that come along to say the crash course?
Yeah.
They've got very limited belief.
Yeah.
But then when they see what other people are doing, their belief shoots up.
Yeah, that is very true. I've actually never thought of it that way, but I've seen it happen. Because when you...
See, I believe I can change people's belief.
Yes.
If someone comes to me with limiting beliefs,
That is true, actually.
I can logically give them the evidence to believe in themselves, and I can not just logically, but I can also inspire them to just want to be more, achieve more, inspire them, and give them the actual facts to say, you know what, this is possible if it's been done. But I mean, one of the reasons I haven't got you on the show right now is to inspire people. My job as a trainer, the reason I have a channel is because I started with nothing. No one believed in me.
Yeah.
But then when I saw, hang on a minute, Richard Branson has been successful and he's got dyslexia too.
Yeah.
And he's got struggled academically. Damn, maybe I could. I read his book, it inspired me.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, if he's done it, then I can do it too. Then when I became successful, I put my story out there, inspired other people, they became successful. Rippling effect. I'm then like, well, hang on a minute. If you've been successful, come on my YouTube channel. Let's inspire more people. And I think one of the biggest things to get belief is seeing other people have done it. Then your belief goes up.
100%.
When your belief goes up and you're inspired, then you get the training and you get the
100%.
skills. So I'll probably disagree a little bit.
And that's what, I mean, look, and I completely agree with you, but the reason why I said I believe you need the belief is because you need to be in the environment so your belief grows up. So ultimately, you still need your belief to grow up.
Yeah.
However, you're not going to sit at home automatically one day and automatically have a magical
Here's
belief.
one thing I do think. A lot of people say to me, Samuel, can you make me financially free, like how you made Evans financially free, like how you made Amelia financially free, David Eccles, Lawton, all these people that I've gone and I've helped them become financially free. However, if I went and moved into a random person's house and said, let's do it, they'd fail. Because of what you said, belief and fire and willingness to want to succeed. I can't even give away free houses, man. You saw when I was standing in Hyde Park in London saying, hey, I'm giving away a house. No one believed that it was legit and they lost a house. So I think that you do need belief and you do need to be willing to do whatever it takes. And if you're willing to do whatever it takes, you've got belief, and then you get the training and the knowledge and you surround yourself with good people, it's a recipe for success.
Yeah.
You know, big deals. Does it ever scare you, some of the sizes? I mean, we're looking at some literally 7-figure deals right now.
Yeah.
Does it scare you?
At the beginning, it was because I didn't know what I was doing and the risk was high. But now I'm actually, I realized the formulas are very, very similar on a small deal and a big deal.
Yeah.
And because I've done a little bit of the small deals, it automatically gives me a little bit more belief in myself that I can do it. So no, it doesn't.
Talk to me about the Freedom Formula Intensive. What's that? What happens?
Oh, game changer for me, man. That was probably the biggest eye-opening training I've ever done with you, because that really, because a lot of, even my apartment, even having a Range Rover, that's always been something I've always wanted to do. However, I've always thinking you need to save about 100 grand to get a Range Rover. You need to have, very good credit and have a lot of money in the bank to get an apartment. But no, because what you've done, you've just broken it down into digestible pieces of information. I feel like, wow, that's actually doable. So for me, all of a sudden, this gray area just came together. So it just made sense. And when you believe you can actually do something, you'll obviously do it a lot more.
Yeah.
So,
I remember when you said you wanted to live in a beautiful apartment overlooking Canary Wharf. I said, how much would that cost? You're like, I don't know.
yeah.
I was like, well, let's find out.
Yeah.
And you looked, you're like, about $3 grand a month?
Yeah.
I was like, okay. So what do we need to do to get that $3 grand a month?
That's it.
Maybe get a couple of rent to rents.
Yeah.
Give them 1,500 each. I was like, okay. And how long would that take? A few months? Nah, come on. How long is that going to take? A few weeks? Let's do it this week.
Yeah.
In fact, let's get you in that apartment this week.
Yeah.
We literally found an apartment that week from scratch.
Yeah.
And you moved in that week.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. But the way that you teach, the thing about it is you just make everything so simple, man. And I'm a simple guy. I didn't do very good at school. I didn't finish college, didn't go to uni. So anything that's, it's a bit too much. But the way you just break it down to a simple format, it's just like, I can do that.
Who filmed you do the Financial Freedom Challenge?
So the guy who filmed me do the Financial Freedom Challenge was Pav.
Okay.
Pav filmed me.
And then afterwards he was like, I'm quitting. I want to go and be an entrepreneur.
Yeah, Pav is no longer here.
And then Lawton was filmed by Amelia.
Yep.
Even Darwin is filming right now.
Yep. Now doing deals.
Now doing deals.
Yeah.
In fact, Darwin just bought a house last week.
Yep.
Congratulations, my man David.
Well done, David.
You have
Shout
anything
out
to
to my
say?
guy, David.
Not at all, no. Just really happy.
Big respect. But like that's what you're talking about environment. Amelia was filming the Financial Freedom Challenge in Manchester with Lawton, and at the end she was like, I'm booking a week off work, man. I'll go and spend a week with her. You obviously jumped in.
Yeah.
And now she's financially free. And then the person who videoed that, Darwin. And now Darwin's doing deals.
Yeah.
Next thing, Darwin's videographer, Darwin's going to say, hey, I just bought a house. And he's going to hire a videographer to come out and film him. And in that video, like, what is going on? The rippling effect. What do you think of Amelia's Financial Freedom Challenge?
I think, number one, it couldn't happen to a better person. She's an amazing individual with a very good heart. But I think when she actually did it with Lawton, she realized that you don't actually need to be skilled to make money in property. You just need to learn the basics.
What's that supposed to say about Lawton?
No.
When she saw it with Lawton, she was like, you don't need any skill. Lawton's a very successful guy.
No. He's very, very successful. And Lawton's a great guy.
I love Lawton.
The reason why I said that, because
so much.
That was her first Financial Freedom Challenge witnessing it.
Yes.
So when she actually saw it firsthand, she actually realized, hold on a minute, it's not that technical.
Yeah,
I can do that.
I think people might think when they watch the Financial Freedom Challenge, it must be a little bit staged, but actually, like what you see is exactly what happens.
Absolutely, 100%.
And Darwin's nodding, who's filmed Financial Freedom Challenges. There's so many people. We bring in videographers and everybody that's ever been involved in a Financial Freedom Challenge will testify for that.
100%. I believe, look, man, success leaves clues. And if you want to be successful, you go be around people who are successful. Because they got to where they got to for a reason.
Yeah.
And, coming to the training events and seeing people doing it, I'm thinking, like, hold on a minute, this guy is a regular guy. He can't even, but that's the thing about the environment. That's what really, captured my attention.
So what's your reason for doing this now? Like, you've already become financially free. Now you're trying to get rich.
Yeah.
The goal is to become a millionaire.
Yeah.
And we're working on that.
Yes.
I know it's going to happen over the next couple of years.
Yeah.
I know it's going to. Why do you want to be a property millionaire?
Yeah, because when I got started, for me, the biggest hurdles for me, especially in property, was actually seeing somebody who's got the same struggles as me get started and actually be successful. Because almost everybody I saw was a little bit far-fetched. His mom looked after him, his dad, this, that, whatsoever. And I was this little, lone wolf from the Caribbean, if not much family in the UK. Had an accent, dark in skin, had all the obstacles, not much money. So I need for me to actually believe that I could do it, I needed to see somebody do it. And there were not that many people, right? So I always say, you know what, one day if I do it, in fact, I actually prayed to God. I'm like, God, please help me. I need to be successful, and I promise you I'll pay you back and I'll help people if you let me be successful. So I think because I offered God, I'll pay you back if you help me.
Yeah.
So now I'm on a mission, man. Now I want to help people because I really know anybody can do it.
That's amazing. And so many people say to me, they're like, Samuel, if you're making so much money in property, why do you bother having a YouTube channel, running training programs? Like, why do you bother doing that?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. And for me, it's a mission. It makes me fulfilled, and you know this.
Yeah.
It's about legacy. No one's going to remember me for how much money I made. They'll remember me for how many people I impacted.
Yeah.
And I think people only truly understand that when they become financially free themselves, like you've done, and they go, I get it now. And I'm so glad that you have experienced that. And I know you give very generously to charity. Looking forward to hopefully bringing you out to Uganda.
Yeah,
that'd be amazing because we got a lot of good stuff going on. We've got a lot of good stuff.
Absolutely.
So, big steps for you next. What's your plan to become a millionaire?
So my plan to become a millionaire is, again, I mean, if we look at strategy-wise, it's obviously a lot to do on the big stuff. Do a lot more of the big stuff because it takes about the same amount. I know you said that before, but I'm actually witnessing it.
Yeah.
Do a lot more of the big stuff and help a lot more people.
Fast pound, slow pound, right?
Fast pound, slow pound, 100%. Again, the fast pound, which I'm doing now for rent to rents and deal selling, kind of systemize it, give me enough money I want. But most of my efforts are on the big stuff,
Right.
BRRs, joint ventures, developments.
Yep. So in a couple of years' time, we'll see some of your development buildings. It takes time.
It takes time.
Planning permission and all that stuff. But in the next couple of years, people will see the apartment blocks that you've built and houses that you've been involved with building from scratch and all that kind of stuff, which we're working on right now.
Yeah.
Which is exciting. But what you've achieved is incredible. What would be your top piece of advice to someone watching this?
Top tip to somebody watching this. I mean, if you really want this by enough. Believe me, you can. But there's a few things that needs to happen for you to do it. You're not just gonna magically just think about it's gonna happen. You need to, number one, put yourself in the right environment, be in the right rooms, give yourself a chance. Stop taking yourself out of the game. Even if you haven't got money, you haven't got credit, whatever obstacle that you have, give yourself a chance. Come down to the free trading, meet people, talk to people, find a way. All right. Number one. Number two, you can't do it by yourself. You need the knowledge. The knowledge for me is literally a fresh pair of binoculars that can just see things I couldn't see before. So you need the knowledge. So do whatever it takes to do the knowledge, because you really can do it. Find a way and get this knowledge, because it's eye-opening. And number three, the most important thing is you go to work. We can give you all the inspiration. We can give you all the training. The only thing that I can't and Samuel can't do for you is do it yourself. So you have to apply yourself. Yeah. But the applying yourself comes through the first two. Because if you have got the knowledge and you know what to do, you're more inclined to do it. So don't try to do it by yourself without getting the knowledge. Get the knowledge first, so you will see things differently and you're more inclined to do it. But you really can. I'm literally a testimonial to get started, if nothing. So if you just have an ounce of belief, jump on it, come down to a free event, just follow exactly what Samuel has taught me and a lot of people, and apply yourself, and it's a recipe for success.
Amazing. Love that. Couldn't have said it better myself. Get the knowledge, work hard, surround yourself with good people around you. Well, dude, massive respect to what you've done. Been great getting to know you as well on a really personal level, and working with you through the academy. Now that you're 12 months on the academy is finished, I know you're becoming an associate now, and really exciting. Guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, why don't you smash the like button, drop a comment below as well. If you want to see Evans, then come on down to one of our training programs. He's often there in the flesh personally. I'm there as well. Why don't you come and join us? I'll leave a link in the description, and also feel free to comment on the video. If you've got any questions or thoughts, comment below. I'll do my best to answer every single one. And if you want to see more videos like this every single week, I'm helping somebody become financially free. I got a whole playlist right here. Check out the playlist, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace.